Around here, they like to say it just means more. And when two ranked teams square off under the lights on SEC opening weekend, you understand exactly why. The reigning national champs are off to a 19-1 start on their road towards a repeat. And tonight, the third-ranked Longhorns have made the trip to Columbia to take on a South Carolina squad that's looking to prove they're once again a title contender after a super regional appearance last postseason. With that, we welcome you up here high above Beckham Field. Kate Crenshaw alongside Paul McDonald. So happy to have you with us here tonight. Paul, when we talk about chances in the early season of conference play, they don't get any better than a chance at the champs.
They really don't. Texas is going to get everybody's best this year. South Carolina is looking to do much the same. For South Carolina, they're going to give up a little bit of contact. Texas, one of the best hitting teams in the nation, so they've got to be solid in the field. They're going to have to get a couple of runners aboard, maybe even get creative if they wish to get the upset to open SEC play.
One of the keys for South Carolina's offense will certainly be second baseman Carly Shelton.
Yeah, Carly Shelton, a big piece of the offense and the defense. The coaching staff refers to her as the diesel engine for her relentless hard work in the field. She's still flawless at second base in 65 chances throughout the non-conference slate. You see the numbers right there. She is the team leader in RBI throughout the start of these 21 games this year.
And as for Texas, the Longhorns have back the National Catcher of the Year, Reese Atwood.
What can be said that hasn't been said already about Reese Atwood, the two-time home run and RBI champ for Texas? She is the leader for the Longhorns on the offensive side of the ball. Of course, backstopping her pitching staff, but she has taken it to another level this year from an efficiency standpoint, hitting at a 490 clip at the plate.
She'll be in the cleanup spot to work against South Carolina starter Neely Lamb. Her third start of the season, 13th overall appearance she enters into tonight with an even 3 ERA through 21 innings, Paul.
And Lamb is challenged with these bats of Texas, but for her already having a season under her belt at South Carolina after a standout year as a freshman at a Charleston Southern, Neely Lamb really in this ball game today is going to have to pitch to contact and try to not give up the long ball against one of the best power teams in the country in number 3 Texas.
The Longhorns coming in hitting .391 on the season, 36 home runs. That's 6th most in the league throughout non-conference play. SEC play has arrived and we are set to get underway on this Friday night. Caden Henry leads things off for the Longhorns. First pitch low from Neely Lamb. Henry hitting .418 on the season. Her junior year out of Dickinson, Texas. Corners in for the Gamecocks. 1-0 pitch finds the zone for Lamb.
Good start by Lamb, 1-1 count. Of course, missing the bat first time around. Part of that, Caden Henry did not like the look she saw on that first pitch.
Chasing it away is Henry, strike 2. Longhorns winners of 17 straight coming in. Henry doesn't chase after it twice, and it's 2-2.
Good choice by Neely Lamb. Any chance to get the punch out here against the leadoff hitter in Henry, but Henry, wise to that move, lays off to take the 2-2 count.
Lamb deals home, over but low, and the count's full. As Paul mentioned, Neely Lamb's second season in Columbia. Last year, a .326 ERA with 81 strikeouts, just 27 walks. Payoff. Popped in the air towards center. Tori Inslee has it in her glove. One away here in the first. Gamecocks rolling out the same starting 9 defensively that we've seen from the better part of the last 2 weeks for them. Captain catcher Lexi Winters will anchor things behind the plate. Rhodey and Shelton on the right side of the infield. 2 new faces on the left side. sophomore Shea Anderson, her first year as a starter, and Tate Davis at third, coming over from Ole Miss. One out hitter is Leanne Good. Takes a strike on the outside.
Coach Chastain Woodard had great things to say about Shea Anderson and Tate Davis coming in, as you said, to replenish that left side of the defense. They had big shoes to fill. They've done that nicely so far this year.
0-1, chop foul. And Gamecocks graduating both their shortstop and third baseman last year. Berg Blankenship leads the shoes to fill at short, and they said they've been extremely pleased with what Shea Anderson's been able to do there defensively. Really shined. And then over at third base, Tate Davis comes in through the transfer portal after Ella Chansey graduated, but good news for her, Ella Chansey now part of the Gamecock staff, so she's been able to mentor a little bit from that position. 0-2 toss, misses outside from Lamb. Leanne Good, the top hitter in terms of batting average in this Texas lineup. .512 on the season. She's got a 5-game hit streak coming in. Winters looking to frame the outside pitch. Instead, it evens the count at 2-2.
And Leanne Good, a very energized player out on the field. We talked with Coach Mike White. He said one of the things that she's done nicely is begun to control those emotions. It doesn't mean she's not energized, but she's beginning to not use them incorrectly.
She's got a base hit through the left side. 1-out single for Leanne Good.
Just going with the pitch, there is Leanne Good, driving it through the hole between third and second. Doesn't try to do too much with it. Well, and that's part of the reason why she leads the way for Texas from a batting average standpoint. Good bat to ball there, so a 1-out single for Good.
1 on, 1 out for the Longhorns here in the first for Kaya Altmaier, their senior left fielder. Hitting .472 on the season, now in her senior campaign, first with the Longhorns. Coming over after 3 years at Arizona.
How about that for a pickup?
Yeah, all region, all Big 12 a season ago. Off speed, drops into the zone. That's been a pitch that Lamb's worked to develop so far as a junior.
Yes, and Coach Chastain Woodard has really pointed out that that's probably her best ball. Not so much the changeup, but locating that changeup, mixing it in more specifically throughout her second year here at USC.
Altmaier, 2 doubles and a triple this season among 17 hits. Last year led all the Big 12 with 19 doubles, and also put her top 15 in the country. Leanne Good occupies first after a 1-out single. And now Kaya Altmaier the dish ahead 3-1.
Neely Lamb was pitching from ahead in the count to Henry and Good before Good hit that single, but now falling behind for the first time against Altmaier. This is certainly not where you want to be if you are Neely Lamb.
Especially with Reese Atwood on deck. Strike 2 called. Neely Lamb dots the outside corner. She's got a pair of full count hitters here in the first inning. 16 pitches so far for Lamb. .3-2 delivery, fouled away.
And that's where that changeup can be a frustrating one. Altmaier just a little bit out ahead of it, pulls it down the first base line.
Gamecocks going with a slight shift defensively out in center field. Tori Inslee playing slightly towards the gap off the centered up logo. With Good at first and 1 out. Here again, the 3-2. Foul it away once more.
That's an interesting shift for the center fielder and Tori Inslee. So they're playing for the opposite field hit into the gap rather than the pull for Altmaier, even though she pulled one just a moment ago foul.
After 2 straight foul swings, make it 3 in a row. For the Longhorns, fresh off of their first national championship in program history, they've got a lot of success coming back. Plus, they pair that with transfers like Altmaier.
Well, and those numbers really tell it all. If you are looking for somebody to put your guesses on to be back at the World Series, trying for a second run, it would have to be Texas with all those returners. And we see the returning numbers from the plate, but from a pitching standpoint, 3 of their 4 top inning tossers for Texas return as well.
You talk about the Longhorns trying to get back to Oklahoma City. They've been in the finals 3 out of the last 4 seasons. Finally were able to take the top spot this past summer. 3-2 from Lamb. Off speed, breaks away, and it's ball 4. A base hit and a walk will put 2 on for the Longhorns' home run queen, Reese Atwood. Coming in 2 tonight, second among active Division I players, 64 career homers. She's got 9 so far this year. Good at second, Altmaier at first with 1 out. Gamecocks going to really need Neely Lamb here to start locking in and throwing strikes, what she's done for the bulk of her career. But you also look at what the career has been like for Reese Atwood, and it's just been producing runs.
Well, all she does is generate scoring, and she is an iron woman. This is her 209th start in 215 available games during her career. Now, that is doable out in the outfield, but we're talking about a player that sees a ton of time as a catcher. This is an absolute rough spot for South Carolina. They certainly did not want to face Atwood with 2 runners aboard.
Pitching coach Zach Parsons making his way out into the circle to talk with Lamb and Lexi Winters, Gamecock senior catcher here. Typically we see head coach Ashley Chastain Woodard make those type visits, but Parsons coming in to talk things over with the right-hander.
In this spot, it's all about calm. Atwood is going to see the ball and may make contact. Can't get rattled if she gets bad on ball. The goal is to get her to put it on the ground.
1-0, drops into the zone. Nice pitch there from Lamb to even the count.
And also to trust your stuff. What you can't do is change things against a top hitter. You've got to stick with what works for you. You got to have the gusto to toss that changeup.
Atwood belts this one foul down the third baseline. Top of the first inning, no score. Longhorns and Gamecocks. Opening game of SEC play for these two. Leanne Good at second after she connected on a 1-out single. Altmaier over at first after the full count walk. Neely Lamb's 1-2 pitch. Just outside, it misses to even the count. Tried attacking with the fastball in the outer half after a couple off-speed throws.
And a shift on the infield. Carly Shelton nearly behind the bag at second with both Shea Anderson and Tate Davis trying to handle the pull.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. Neely Lamb strikes out the slugger. Reese Atwood goes down. That's 2 away here in the first.
Wow, and that's what we talk about, trusting the stuff. That was the change that got Atwood the off speed way out in front of it. Atwood there, very frustrated. She left a couple players on base, so that's going to leave it up to Katie Stewart.
The home run threat doesn't decrease any. Trading Atwood for Stewart. His first pitch is inside. 11 homers on the year for Stewart. She's hitting .490 overall, but a bulk of those home runs coming as of late. 7 of her last 11 games, she sent one out of the park. With 2 on and 2 down. Slow roller left side. Tate Davis from third. The throw a bit high. It pulls Ariana Rhodey off the bag. It will be ruled a single, and that loads them up for Texas.
And that was going to be a tough play to be had by Tate Davis. That ball came to her on a slow bounce, and Davis playing a little bit deeper here on defense. So the charge and the throw, she really had to rush it there, pulling Ari Rhodey off the bag.
Vacancy sign turned off with Viviana Martinez up. 2-out hitter sees it outside. Martinez back with the Longhorns this season after missing all of last year with an injury. But you go back to 2024, a second-team All-American pick. Not to mention second-team All-Big 12 as well.
And the coaching staff had nothing but good things to say about Vivi. Last year, instead of being down in the dumps, not being able to play for what turned into the national champions, she was very supportive, found joy in the success of her teammates last year.
1-1's off the plate from Lamb, ball 2.
They reflected a little bit more on that one and kind of said, hey, everybody went through that during the COVID season when many players' final seasons or just season in general was taken away from them. So for Viviana Martinez, handling her business well and back healthy this year.
Bases loaded with 2 outs. The count now 3-1 on Martinez. Leanne Good at third, Altmaier at second, Stewart at first. The 3-1 to Martinez. Strike 2 called outside corner.
And the pitch prior just fractionally missing. You get the oohs and ahs of the crowd, but they are catching the strike zone to take the count full is Neely Lamb.
Looking to escape the early jam. Into foul territory it sails. For the Gamecocks, they start out SEC play with the reigning national champs. Get this, for the 2nd straight year. Last season, you look back when they faced Oklahoma, these were the Sooners numbers coming into that matchup. Very similar, a deja vu look. Payoff pitch. Just off the outside edge. Gamecock faithful wanted it, but it brings in a Longhorn run. Texas up early, 1-0.
Oh my goodness, that one just missed, but Leanne Good then comes across for the first run of the inning. But walks are really what were the biggest problem so far of this inning. Viviana Martinez with the walk there, but also the walk to Altmaier. The base is still full. Mattea Lawson at the plate.
With nowhere to put her, the 2-out pitch. Change-up gets the swing and miss. Mattea Lawson, a freshman out of Tinley Park, Illinois. Hitting .324 so far in her freshman campaign. Back-to-back strikes from Lamb.
Well, this is a great spot for Lamb to really work herself out of a jam here. Quite a test in, of course, the SEC opener, but the base is loaded. She was to get out of this inning with 1 run. I think they'd call that success.
Her 0-2. Skied in the air, shallow right. McKnight charging in, and that's the inning. Longhorns load the bases, but they bring in just 1 run. We go to the bottom of the 1st. Gamecocks looking to respond. The reigning national champs are in town to open up SEC play. Texas with an early 1-0 lead over South Carolina, and early run support for Tegan Cavan, the Women's College World Series most outstanding player last season, back for her junior campaign. And Paul, she has just been dominant this year. A 2.14 ERA in nearly 50 innings. And
that ERA is deceiving. She gave up some runs against Nebraska in early February, 3 1/3 innings pitched. So the result, that 2.14 would be much lower if not for that Nebraska game.
Quincy Lelio leading it off for the Gamecocks. 1-0 pitch, the redshirt senior, up and off, ball 2. Your prototypical leadoff hitter. She's been in this spot in the Gamecocks order since her first year last year, coming in through the transfer portal from Oklahoma. Hitting .448 on the year, and she's now in the count, now 2-1.
She played infield for Oklahoma in her sparing opportunities there, but when she came to South Carolina, the infield was pretty much taken care of. They moved her to center field, where she handled her business last year, now playing regularly in left.
2-1 pitch, popped to right, but into the glove of Leanne Good. 1 away, bottom of the 1st. Gamecocks trying to make an early statement at the beginning of conference play for the 2nd straight year. Carly Shelton at the dish, a junior from nearby Lexington. One out swing back to the screen. Shelton, the Gamecocks' top RBI hitter on the year, 26 this season for the junior. Going with a .414 average. 0-1 from Kavan is up and in to even the count.
And in that 2-hole, a .481 on-base percentage. So she, like Lilio, so important on the front end of the lineup to get on base for the Gamecocks.
Swing and a miss, strike two. Talking with South Carolina head coach Ashley Chastain Woodard earlier this week, Paul, we look back really to last season when the Gamecocks hosted Texas Tech and Nigeria Kennedy for a 3-game series in non-conference play. And what's the comparison like prepping for Kennedy and Tegan Kavan? It's the 1-2 pitch is fouled back. And she said, look, obviously they're different pitchers. They're going to throw different things, but the overall point they wanted to emphasize to their hitters remains the same. It's not unhittable. You have to have that confidence going up before you're able to do anything.
And what's so important there is getting the first hit as soon as South Carolina can, if they can get a player aboard.
1-2 pitch straight to center. It had enough carry on it to stay up in the air and carry into the glove of Henry.
If they can get someone aboard and get that confidence against Tegan Kavan, then we might see the flywheel open up with a few more hits.
A look back at what we showed you a bit ago. The Gamecocks taking on the defending national champs to open up conference play for the 2nd straight year. And the numbers very similar, though both fan bases will tell you the logos couldn't be more different from one another in those two rivals. First pitch to Ariana Rodi, a called strike on the outside edge.
Well, and interestingly enough, opening with the two newest newcomers to the SEC, those two both seeing SEC play in 2025 last year for the first time, coming from the Big 12.
Rodi, one of the senior leaders for the Gamecocks, hitting .308 on the year. Down in the count early on to Kavan, 0-2. Base is clear and 2 outs. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Tegan Kavan pieces together a 1-2-3 inning that includes her 67th strikeout of the year. Longhorns getting the bats going early, and Tegan Kavan taking care of business in the circle. 1 down here in Columbia. 6th all-time meeting between Texas and South Carolina. Their first since 2018 and the first ever for both of them as SEC foes. We get the 2nd inning underway. J.C. Nichols, a talented freshman third baseman, leads it off for the Longhorns. Amy Lamb returning to the circle for Carolina. Her 0-1 is low.
And J.C. Nichols, one of Coach Mike White's several players that were multi-sport athletes in high school. How about J.C. Nichols? Did you know she was the long jump state champion in the state of Oklahoma, along with playing basketball in her high school days?
Slow fly to third, hauled in by Davis. 1 away.
Right fielder number 7, Ashton Maloney.
Brings up Ashton Maloney, the 9-hole hitter for Texas. She's hitting just under .300 this year. 1 out swing, pops up. Davis extends the glove and makes the over-the-shoulder grab. One hitter brings her towards the plate. The very next sends her away from it. No problem. Tate Davis makes both catches.
Excellent work by Tate Davis. Of course, she's in shallow for the slap. So smart play by Ashton Maloney to try to get it over the shoulder, but Tate Davis turns around and gets a lead on it, is able to collect herself for the 2nd out.
Back up at the top for Caden Henry. 0 for 1 tonight. Flew out to center field. Begin today's ball game.
She sure hit it hard in that leadoff spot to get the game going, but Quincy Lilio in position to collect that 1st out of the game.
Down even at 1 apiece. Neil Lamb looking for a bounce back 2nd inning after the first. Saw her throw 38 pitches give up a pair of hits, a pair of walks, the second of which walked in a run for the Longhorns. Facing 7 total hitters. 1-1, nice off speed from Lamb on the outside. Neely Lamb trying to match Tegan Cavan's 3-batter frame in the bottom of the first. Her 1-2. Off speed is up and in.
Caden Henry had a decision to make. She has the helmet on, so she pulled away, but she's like, man, if I let it hit me, I've got a free bag, but no one ever likes to see the ball coming at them, so she pulled away.
With the infield in. 2-2 goes to the outfield. Lelio towards the track, makes the catch, and that ends the inning. 3 up, 3 down for the third-ranked team in the country. Midway through the second, Longhorns up a run. Tonight in Columbia, South Carolina matching up against the defending national champs, Texas Longhorns. There's the second-year skipper for the Gamecocks, Ashley Chastain-Woodard, trying to build off of a super regional appearance last postseason.
They made a great run last year. Split a 1-1 against UCLA. Up late in that one, but gave up a few unanswered runs in the 7th inning. A heartbreaker. South Carolina was 1 inning away from making it to the College World Series in just Coach Ashley Chastain-Woodard's first season for the Gamecocks.
And to try to get back there, they added pieces out of the portal like Tori Inslee, who connects on a leadoff single. The NC State transfer trying to get South Carolina started here in the second.
Good contact here, and it's just what the doctor ordered, a pitch just slightly up in the zone. Inslee takes advantage of it, drives it hard into left field. Good recovery by Kaya Altmaier, and a slight glove miss there to still relay to second to prevent the runner in Inslee from making it to second.
Keep an eye a bit on Inslee. She's 8 for 9 on steals this year. First pitch to Tate Davis, strike 1. Third baseman, we mentioned it for when she was making shining plays defensively, coming over from Ole Miss, hitting .375 her first year back in her home state. 0-1 off the inside of the bat. Does it fall? It will. Back-to-back singles for Inslee, and Tate Davis has the tying run in scoring position for South Carolina.
Davis is just able to get enough of the bat on it to flip it over the second baseman. 2 runners aboard. This is just what the doctor ordered for South Carolina. They wanted to get a little confidence and get some contact against the great pitcher in Tegan Cavan. Well, they've certainly done so in this inning with 2 singles to start the second inning.
Yeah, the turnaround for Cavan here in the second, giving up back-to-back base hits to the first 2 hitters after a 3-batter frame, including a strikeout in the first. Now the toss to Lexi Winters, Gamecock catcher, is strike 1. Winters hitting .283 this season. She was one of the best bats for the Gamecocks last year in conference play. Hit .310 in league action. Fouls that one off, now 0-2.
Quickly behind in the count. That pitch clocked at 69 miles an hour, so Winters is going to have a challenge catching up to it. Watch for the off speed here later in the count from Cavan.
With Inslee at second and Davis at first. 0-2, foul down the first baseline. Winters last season, we told you, one of the Gamecocks' best bats once it got to SEC play, not only in terms of for average, but also for production.
So still waiting for the bat to heat up in Lexi Winters. But there'd be no better place to do it than here with 2 runners on.
Cavan's 0-2 inside.
Inside and a little up in the zone. Cavan doesn't like it. You could see that extra flip into her glove, but Winters will survive the at-bat. 1-2.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. Tegan Cavan's got a pair of strikeouts so far through an inning and a third tonight. Out attacking that inside edge again on Winters. First out here in the second. Still 2 on for Shea Anderson, South Carolina shortstop.
And it's a great lesson for all pitchers watching Tegan Cavan. When in doubt, inside on the hands, you're seldom going to go wrong as long as you don't miss too far inside with that hit by pitch.
Anderson hitting .306 in her sophomore season. She's a California kid out of Moore Park. 1-0 up and off. Coming off the Garnet and Black Invitational, Gamecocks went 4-1 on the weekend. Anderson hit .400 in those 5 games with 2 home runs. 2-0 pitch in the box, ball 3. Gamecocks a pitch away from loading the bases on Cavan here in the second. The 3-0. Ball 4. Throughout that at bat, Tegan Cavan tried attacking the inside half of the plate on Shea Anderson. None of them catch the zone, and that loads the bases up and brings out a mound conversation.
And they had the base to give. So for Cavan, she didn't need to get too aggressive against Anderson. I think the reminder here also for Cavan is we're late in the order. You're facing the number 8 and number 9 hitters. You're where you want to be, and you got an out at every base. Just continue to attack and do what you do. But Alyssa Hovermail, the conversation's a little bit different if you're on the South Carolina side. A chance to get a run back here with some quality contact.
Gamecocks looking to even things up here in the second after Texas was able to bring home the game's first run on a bases loaded walk. As they send Alyssa Hovermail to the plate. A Florida transfer for the Gamecocks who did get to see action in SEC play last year. Went down with a season-ending injury for the Gators after just 2 games. She stands in here with the vacancy sign turned off on the base pass. 1 out, bottom of the second. Strike 1 on the inside corner.
And a little bit more on Hovermail. In addition to being out for most of the 25 season, when she made it to South Carolina, she had some rehabbing to do even in the fall. So she's not had the most amount of reps coming into this season.
Cavan trying to escape the jam here in the second inning. One up and off.
Very defensive pitch by Cavan. Of course, she's wanting Hovermail to wave at that one. Hovermail, good discipline at the plate. Now ahead in the count, 2-1.
Hovermail into foul territory on the left side. Swinging .400 with runners in scoring position this year. One of 10 transfers that the Gamecocks brought in the offseason. Wanted to revamp their roster a little bit after reaching supers last year and coming a win away from Oklahoma City. Bases loaded, 2-2. Inside, ball 3.
Atwood had to get out of her crouch to make sure she collected that one. One of the best backstops in the nation. Of course, a ball behind her could allow for the runner to come home.
Payoff pitches inside, and we are tied. The Gamecocks tie the game the same way that Texas took the lead. A bases loaded walk evens things up.
2 walks charged against Neely Lamb in the first inning to attribute to that eventual run. But here, 2 rare walks by Tegan Cavan in the same inning. That one walking in the run in Tori Ensley coming home.
For Tegan Cavan, she's only had 2 instances among 10 appearances this year with more than 2 walks in an entire game, much less in a single inning. Bases loaded now for Nia McKnight, Gamecock right fielder.
And Ansley Bennett will go in and run for Alyssa Hovermail over at first base. Ansley Bennett, the freshman utility. We've seen her in some high leverage situations. No surprises. She is an important runner over at first base.
McKnight, a .333 hitter, offers at the first pitch and fouls it back. Bennett, a Summerville, South Carolina native and former Gatorade Player of the Year for the Palmetto State. Gamecocks looking to take their first lead of the night here in the second. 0-1 is inside.
And she might remind you, two-time Gatorade Player of the Year. Also a good pitcher. She's seen time in the circle for South Carolina this year as well.
1-1 popped up into center. Henry makes the grab. They'll look to tag, and South Carolina in front. Tate Davis scores. And they will say that Tate Davis left third base early. It is an inning double play as the Longhorns make the throw down to third, and that concludes the inning. We remain tied at 1. We're going to take another look at this one here before we step away. Davis really trying to score that run to put the Gamecocks in front. Just taking a step too early. After 2, we're evened up at 1 apiece. 8th season leading the Longhorns. Won his first national championship this past season after making it to Oklahoma City for the 8th time. Head coach with closing in on 800 career wins, Paul.
Well, he is an absolute legend, and wherever he has gone, he has found success. Of course, we know him from his time at Oregon and the 5 Pac-12 conference titles, and what is just the most outstanding.
First pitch swinging from Leanne Good out to left. There's Lilio for the out.
A little bit more on Coach White of his time as a head coach. Of his 15 seasons in the dugout, 15 times making it to Super Regionals. So this guy just knows how to win.
That's the best way to find yourself in 11 different Hall of Fames, right? Just win games. It'll get you there.
Yeah, you know, just win games.
Kaya Altmaier up for the second time. Walked last time we saw her in the first. As a strikes call for Neely Lamb. Gamecock starter had a really good bounce back second inning. After 2 hits and 2 free passes in the first, retired the Longhorns in order in the second. 0-1's outside. Lamb low and in. Altmaier, the San Diego, California native, tonight her 130th career start. Coming over after 3 years at Arizona. A lifetime .367 hitter. 2-1, rock to right. That'll fall for a base hit into the wall. Altmaier heading into second. She will hold up there with a 1-out double.
Perfect timing by Altmaier on this swing. She takes the inside pitch, not inside enough. So she drops her hands and pulls into the right field area out of the range of Nia McKnight. McKnight chases it down, gets the relay in, but not only until a stand-up double for Altmaier.
Third double of the year for Altmaier, and that brings out the Gamecocks for a circle conversation here, and I believe a change. So it looks like Gamecocks are going to turn to what has been their most dominant arm this year. Jory Hurd will step into the circle in relief of Neely Lamb. Top of the third, tie game. The Longhorns have the go-ahead run, though, at second. Hurd makes her 13th appearance on the season for the Gamecocks. A 1.24 ERA this year for the Illinois native. She steps in here, inheriting a runner at second with Reese Atwood at the dish. First pitch up and off. Nearly 40 innings this year for Hurd as Atwood fouls that one off. 36 strikeouts to just 9 walks this season. Coming into the year, Coach Ashley Chastain-Woodard said, look, there's really no questioning it. Joy Hurd's the alpha of this year's pitching staff, and so far she stepped up to the plate and delivered as such. 1-1, misses away. For Atwood, 0 for 1 tonight. It's the Texas catcher with a strikeout.
Hurd with that velocity up in the upper 60s. She'll toss a rise ball, change it up once in a while, but that curve or drop has really improved for her.
Swing, opposite air for Atwood, caught by McKnight. Altmaier tags from second to third.
Not much Nia McKnight could do on that one, on that drive to right field. Good situational hitting for Reese Atwood. If you're going to go anywhere with it, you send it to right field and advance the runner in Altmaier to third, now only 60 feet away.
Hurd will look to escape the third with a runner on third. Here's Katie Stewart. She's driven in 28 this year. 2-out pitch, sails past Winters, but good ricochet off the Gamecock backstop. Will not allow Altmaier to dance much off of third base.
And that's where playing on your own home field can really make a difference. You know those caroms when that ball gets past you. Very defensive from Altmaier, not taking any chances over at third.
Stewart, an infield single last time up. Count evened here. Ridiculous numbers for Stewart with runners in scoring position this year, over 600. One swing in the air to left. Lelio back at the track, looks up and it's gone. 12th homer of the year for Katie Stewart. This one a 2-run blast to left, makes it 3-1 Texas.
For Stewart, a new no-doubter. As soon as that contacted the bat, Lelio made her way to the warning track, but watched it sail well over her shoulders. Now a 3-1 advantage for Texas.
The power on full display for Katie Stewart. 8th time in her last 12 games that she has left the park. Longhorns now up 2 here in the third. Viviana Martinez brought in Texas' first run of the night before that big swing from Stewart on a bases loaded walk in the first inning.
And the book closed on Neely Lamb of South Carolina. She'll be on the hook for 2 runs in 2 1/3 innings. Of course, Jory Hurd charged with the home run to Katie Stewart.
Let her high, ball 3.
I think Hurd a little bit frustrated with that toss to Katie Stewart. We see it in the next batter in Vivi Martinez. 3 pitches in a row have missed the strike zone.
Texas 19-1 coming into this one. Gamecocks 15-6. Tonight, the opening night of SEC play for these two. As Martinez draws her second free pass of the evening and extends the third from Matea Lawson.
That strike zone has been consistent from Paul Eds. He has not been calling the strike that's been low in the zone. We've seen that pretty regularly against both pitchers, so Hurd just has to adjust and do it against Lawson.
Lawson, a fly out the right back in the first inning. Hurd's 0-1 pitch. Skied out to left. Lelio seems to have found it, and that is the third. Katie Stewart puts Texas back in front. A 2-run blast to left field. Her 12th of the season. And the Longhorns are up 3-1 midway through the third. In the bottom half of your league, but in the SEC, that probably means you're going to be on the back half of the top 25.
Well, that's right, and as it stands, number 23 in the country, despite a preseason selection of a 10th. But you see those names up at the top. Texas, of course, long-standing Oklahoma, Tennessee, the number 1 team in the country, all of them in the SEC.
Top of the order for the Gamecocks. Leads off the third. That's Quincy Lelio, who's 0 for 1. Popped up to second base back in the first. Tegan Cavan from the circle for Texas. Got a little run support from Katie Stewart in the top half of this third inning. A 2-run home run to left. Off speed drops in for Cavan. Preseason all SEC pick after receiving first team postseason honors last year. One-two to Lelio, lined opposite way, and that's a base hit to left. Quincy Lelio has the Gamecocks' third hit of the night.
Lelio goes with an outside pitch, doesn't try to pull. If she does, she'd have been innocently on the ground. Instead, sends it into left field. Another leadoff runner aboard. They had the leadoff in the second. That one came around to score in Tori Ensley, but now a leadoff hit for Quincy Lelio has South Carolina in business.
One on for Carly Shelton. First pitch out the middle, off the glove of Cavan. Throw gets away. Lelio will go to third.
South Carolina had hoped to take advantage of any potential miscues from Texas. This looked like they were going to get the lead runner despite the ball going off the glove of Cavan, but that toss from shortstop Vivi Martinez just out of the range of Leanne Good. The ball goes into right field, so now runners at the corners for Ari Rohde.
Go ahead hitter at the plate. It's coming off the weekend where she hit her 50th career homer. Down in the count early though, 0-1. Home run in the doubleheader sweep against Queens University of Charlotte. 6th of the year for Rohde. Cavan's 0-1. Now 0-2. Much like Cavan, Rohde a preseason all-SEC selection. The only one for the Gamecocks. Time run on the base paths for South Carolina here in the third. Up and in. First ball from Cavan.
Good work by Rohde to lay off of that one when she recognizes that's inside. Of course, she doesn't want to take a weak swing at that one, so keep it at 1-2.
Up the middle, stopped by Good. Over to Martinez. Book it for 2. A 4-6-3 double play for the Longhorns. The Gamecocks are able to bring home a run as Lelio scores. It's now a 3-2 Texas lead here in the third.
Good play by Texas to turn the double play, not worry about that lead run. Cavan and company still ahead 3-2 with the runner coming home in Lelio. Excellent effort from Rohde though to keep the ball in play to allow for that runner to score.
Back to a 1-run game. 2-out hitter is Torley Inslee. On the ground to Martinez. Close play. Inslee called out at first. Gamecocks are able to bring one back on an RBI ground out. Waiting to see here if South Carolina's going to challenge. Tori Inslee still staying on at first. She doesn't want to leave. Gamecock staff awaiting to make a decision, and they will not challenge. So that is the third. Our score after 3. Texas in front of South Carolina 3-2. A close play to close out the inning. Fourth, Texas leading South Carolina 3-2 in this top 25 matchup. First time these two square off since 2018, and just the 6th time all-time between the Gamecocks and Longhorns. J.C. Nichols leads it off for the 3rd-ranked team in the land, taking strike 1. 0 for 1 is the freshman, popped up to third base back in the 2nd.
And a nifty play by Tate Davis to collect that ball. Davis had to make a quality save there to collect it for the out. So JC 0 for 1 on the day.
Hurd's 1-1 pitch fouled off. Jory Hurd, a 66% strike throw in her career. Over 100 appearances, all at South Carolina. 1-2 is low and in.
Coach Chastain Woodard talked about her relationship with Jory and said that it was so important, and she was so happy that Jory stayed when there was the coaching change and Coach Chastain Woodard came to South Carolina. And it took time to build that relationship, and one of the things Coach said was, hey, the relationship was already okay, but it has certainly improved now in their 2nd year together in Jory's senior year here.
18 wins in the circle last season for the Gamecocks. The count runs full.
You mentioned that she was the alpha. Well, no doubt that 18-3 record cannot be understated. A big part of South Carolina's run last year to Supers.
Their first time in program history hosting Supers last year. Payoff pitch. Strike 3 call. Nichols goes down looking. 1 away here in the 4th. First strikeout of the night for Jory Hurd. 37th of the year.
Well, J.C. Nichols trying to sell that one, but that one about as square over the plate as you're going to see. Jory Hurd, and as you can see, her first couple of appearances gave up a few runs. That's why that number is elevated.
Maloney lays down the bunt, throw down to first. They will say she got her in time. Good stretch there from Carly Shelton to haul it in. Two down.
Shelton has to get it in her glove and into her paw fast and then rip it on a line. Good range by Rhodey to reach out, still keeping her toe on the bag.
Center fielder number 21, Kaden Henry.
2 gone for Kaden Henry. Leadoff hitter 0 for 2 tonight. Hurd looking for a 3-batter frame. They'll strike 1. Fly out to left and a fly out to center for Henry. This time keeps it on the infield. Rhodey, a toss to Shelton to close out the top of the 4th. 3 up, 3 down for the number 3 team in the country. Texas leading South Carolina 3-2. See South Carolina get a win over a top 3 team. He and Coach Ashley Chastain Woodard, since those two got to campus, have really built a good relationship between each other. And going back to last season when South Carolina got a top 3 win on the road at LSU, they got back on the bus heading towards the airport. Tate Davis fouls off the first pitch, and on their way to the Baton Rouge airport, they got a FaceTime call from Coach Beamer, who started celebrating a little bit. The team went crazy on the bus, all cheering and excited because they were going to get to talk to Coach Beamer after the big series win. down at LSU. So here tonight, supporting softball.
Well, and I can tell you, interactive within coaching staffs amongst the sports, that means so much, not only to the cohesiveness of South Carolina in general, but it means, as you pointed out, to softball so much. But the fact that these coaches are present for the other sports, it means a lot to not only the other coaches, but the players as well.
Davis, a grounder to third. Throw across from Nichols, one away. Tegan Cavan, after a shutdown first inning that included a strikeout, has given up a run to South Carolina in back-to-back innings. Base is clear for Lexi Winters, South Carolina catcher. He's 0 for 1 with 1 of 2 Cavan strikeouts.
Winters with a good take on the off speed there, down in the zone, recognizing that the low zone balls are not being called. Good take by her.
Count even at 1 apiece. Winters an all-region selection last year behind the plate for the Gamecocks. Starting to find her offensive groove over the weekend, the Garnet and Black Invitational. Hit 500 on the weekend with a double, drove in 2 runs. It was her first 2 multi-hit games of the season after she had 12 a year ago. Two-one into the air towards right. Backing up is good from second. And shallow outfield grass. She hauls it in for the second out of the 4th.
And we see just the problem that Tegan Cavan causes for batters. It's not always the strikeout. She can get you with a strikeout at any time, but she's giving up very few hard contacted balls for South Carolina. Shea Anderson looking to break that run.
First pitch to the South Carolina shortstop, a strike call. A walk back in the second inning. Gamecocks would bring in a run that frame, but Anderson left in scoring position. 0-1 pitch on the ground to good. And that closes out the inning. After 4, Texas leading South Carolina by a run. 4 frames in the books. We head to the 5th. Kate Crenshaw alongside Paul McDonald here with you on this Friday night. Open up SEC play. Texas and South Carolina squaring off under the lights. We've got a 1-run game heading into the 5th. Jory Hurd in the circle for the Gamecocks. She came in relief with 1 out in the 3rd inning. Was able to shut down the Longhorns in order last time out. 1-0 pitch to Leanne Good, fouled off.
She settled in nicely, did give up that home run to Katie Stewart, the second batter she faced when she was in the 3rd, but after that did settle in for that 1-2-3 inning in the 4th.
Good, 1 for 2 tonight. She's got 1 of 4 Texas hits. A big day on Sunday for Good to close out the Longhorn Invitational. Went 3 for 3 with a pair of doubles against Incarnate Word. To opposite skies, foul territory, it falls. Count 2-2. But the Texas offense, they really didn't have to do much to get that win against Incarnate Word, because why? Keegan Cavan threw her 2nd career no-hitter.
That's right, a no-hitter. And interestingly enough, in that game, it was not a perfect game. She hit the first batter she faced in the 1st inning. Well, what did she do? Set down the next 18 for the run rule game.
First pitch she threw was the only one she wanted back. Her a nice offering there. But home plate umpire tonight, Paul Eds, doesn't see it quite the same way. And that runs the count full. Longhorns looking to put the leadoff batter on here in the 5th. Swinging a drive out to center. Inslee looks up to the Carolina sky and hauls it in. 1 away.
I'm always interested in seeing how pitchers adjust when a pitch that they believe was a strike is a ball, what does the next pitch look like? Well, that one just off the mark for Leanne Good. Good got a lot of it, but sent it into deep center field, collected by the center fielder, Tori Ensley.
Last hitter in the Texas order to face Jory Hurd for the first time. It's Kaya Altmaier. He's been up twice, got on base twice in this one. A walk and a double. The 1-0. Inside is ball 2. Lexi Winters going to stop and walk out for a conversation here with Jory Hurd.
.2-0 count against Altmaier. I think she has to remember, well, don't worry about playing Texas. Play to the situation. You've got one out. You've got a base to give. You don't have to worry about getting too perfect here. It's just a one-run game. It's all right to just simply go after Altmaier and try to get the second out of this inning.
A lot of experience in the Gamecocks battery right now. For Jory Hurd in the circle, over 300 career innings. For Lexi Winters behind the plate, almost 180 career starts behind the dish. 2-0's elevated, ball 3.
Yeah, and she was absolutely fantastic in her 2 years at the University of North Carolina, Charlotte. 50 games in each of those years, as you pointed out, many times behind the backstop. Defensive Player of the Year in the American Athletic Conference, and only her sophomore year for Charlotte before coming over to South Carolina last season.
1-out walk for Altmaier. Brings up Reese Atwood. Texas cleanup hitter who the Gamecocks have held in check so far through 2 at-bats. A strikeout in the first and a fly out to right. Last time up in the 3rd. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Atwood has reached base in all 20 games this year for Texas. She's hitting .472 on the year. Preseason all SEC pick for the Longhorns. Hurd's 1-1. On the ground to Anderson. A play at second. That's all they'll be able to get. As Reese Atwood reaches on the fielder's choice, she trades places with Altmaier at first. And that's 2 away in the 5th.
Great effort to get the lead runner. Some decision to be made here, whether to go to first, but there was no hesitation. Shea Anderson over to second to get the lead runner. Carly Shelton collects it.
2-out hitter is tonight's 2-run home run hitter, Katie Stewart. First pitch off the plate. That home run from Stewart did come against Hurd back in the 3rd inning. 9th multi-hit game of the year for Stewart. .1-0 off the plate. Hurts 2-0, let her high.
Katie Stewart does her job so well, protecting Atwood in the 4-hole, Stewart in the 5. With Atwood, you have nowhere to go when you've got Stewart up next, the top home run hitter for Texas this year.
Coach Mike White told us between these two, between Atwood and Stewart, it's honestly a friendly rivalry between the two as they go about the home run chase with each other. Hurd's 3-1, stays out of the zone, ball 4.
I like what he said. He said that between the two of them, they kind of go at each other, but they kind of unknowingly do it in that rivalry.
I look back at that big fly in the 3rd for Stewart. 8th long ball in her last 12 games. Big fly from Stewart that gave Texas an initial 3-1 lead. Gamecocks were able to get a run back, but now the Longhorns threatening to add to that 1-run lead. Gamecock head coach Ashley Chastain-Wood are going to walk out here, talk about things in the circle with Jory Hurd, who's now walked 2 hitters here in the 5th.
And Viviana Martinez with a good eye at the plate today. She's walked in both of her plate appearances, and for Martinez, really a big spot for her. I know we talked about her being out last year, but she is back to full speed, says Coach Mike White, and obviously welcomed back to the lineup this year.
Jory Hurd tonight. 1-run charge to her. That was off the swing of Stewart that you saw a moment ago. We want to get a little bit more in check on the command with 3 walks and 41 pitches. 2 on with 2 out for Viviana Martinez. She's reached base twice tonight on a walk, and that pitch hits her. Bases loaded. 3 free passes this frame from Jory Hurd. That one catching Martinez off the elbow.
Yep, and it gets the protection right there. If you're Martinez, you're okay with that. If you're Jory Hurd, you were hoping to go inside, but unfortunately getting the elbow of Martinez.
In steps Matea Lawson. 2 out pitch is up. Lawson a fly out to right and a fly out to left here on this Friday evening. Freshman that Coach White says he doesn't like throwing BP too much because she just hits way too many back up the middle at it.
That's right, and that as hard as can be. He also heaped praise on her as a strong, aggressive swing. So of course, those balls going up through the middle. A ball up through the middle here could score 1 or even 2 if driven properly.
2-0 pitch is a strike for Hurd.
And that one Lawson not too pleased about. She felt as though it missed on the outside corner, but instead counted. Hurd trying to get back into the count.
Atwood at third, reached on a fielder's choice. Stewart at second, she walked. Martinez at first after she got hit. 2-1 in the skies to right center. McKnight will charge in, and that ends the inning. Texas will strand the bases loaded. We're midway through the 5th in a 1-run game. Of work tonight, looking to make it 7 straight outings, allowing 2 earned runs or less. And this one, Texas leading South Carolina 3-2 on this Friday night. Gamecocks bring 8-9-1 in their order to the plate. Looking for that tying run. Leading off will be Alyssa Hovermail, the DP.
South Carolina looks to finish their 2nd time through the order. Hovermail making good contact before today's ball game, upping that average to 360 on the year.
First pitch off the plate from Kavan. Hovermail last time up, throwing a bases loaded walk to bring in South Carolina's first run of the night. Gamecocks added 1 in the 3rd on an RBI ground out. 1-0 into 2-0. The strategy seems to stay the same, Paul, here with Kavan working against Hovermail on that bases loaded walk. All the pitches that missed were inside.
And going inside, I know I mentioned it before, can never hurt you if you're a pitcher, minus, of course, the hit by pitch. But when you're getting balls in on the handles, it's just very difficult to muscle that ball out of the infield.
2-1. Off the plate, ball 3. Gamecocks have gotten 2 runs on 4 hits tonight. All 4 of those hits among their top 5 hitters in the order. Hovermail into left, charging in. Altmaier won't get to it, and it's a leadoff single for Alyssa Hovermail.
Altmaier thought about laying out for the dive here, but then she recognized that she was just out of range. And more importantly, if she dives and misses, Hovermail is going to wheel her way to at least second and probably third. I don't mind that decision by Altmaier to stay behind the ball and limit that swing to a single.
Third time tonight that the Gamecocks have gotten the leadoff hitter aboard. The previous two, they brought in a run. Pinch runner is going to be Lexi Shaver, the Kennesaw State transfer. She scored 10 runs on the year. Coach Ashley Chastain-Woodard says Lexi Shaver, probably one of the fastest kids on the team. Right there at the top of the list, though, with her, Nia McKnight at the plate. First pitch is a strike on the inside. If you go back to last season, Nia McKnight was the Gamecocks' primary pinch runner. She appeared in 40 games, only had one at bat last year. But this season, a starter in right field opens up that spot for Shaver. 0-1, bunt popped up and into the screen.
And Nia McKnight really took advantage, as you pointed out, taking over that right field spot. Didn't see a lot of at-bats at all her freshman year, as you pointed out, and even in the fall didn't see a ton of reps. But whenever she had the opportunity at the plate, she shined and really improved and impressed Coach Ashley Chastain-Woodard, now holding her own as the regular right fielder at the bottom of the order.
And it may not look like McKnight packs a lot of power in that 5'3" stature, but you take her 12 career hits, 8 of them are for extra bases. It's a combination of the speed, too. A couple homers this year, along with 4 doubles and a triple. Kavon's 0-2. Foul back once again.
In one of those monster games, a 5 RBI game against Marist earlier in the season. A triple and a home run, 5 RBI in that ball game.
A .324 hitter on the season. And another foul swing.
Well, McKnight taking some defensive swings, but regardless, staying in the box, surviving the effort of Kavon. Like this effort from Nia McKnight, though she has yet to square anything up. Every foul has gone behind the catcher.
With Shaver at first and nobody out. 0-2's off the plate. Really good crowd on hand here tonight as the Gamecocks open up SEC play at home after last year beginning it on the road at Oklahoma. Kavon fires, and McKnight another foul tip. What is that, Paul, 5?
I think that's 5 foul tips, just hanging in there. Timing hasn't been quite right for her, but I like that she's staying in on this at-bat. Also, a really good test for her. She laid off a pitch that was out of the zone. Some players get in the habit of swinging. They end up chasing.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. Kavon, her 3rd strikeout of the night. Puts 1 away here in the 5th.
Check swing from Nia McKnight. She went all the way around, but that ball low in the zone. That's a unique look from Tegan Kavon to pull the strikeout.
Deep battle there, 9-pitch at bat that Kavon wins and rolls over to the top of the lineup for Quincy Lelio. First pitch outside. A base hit and a run scored for Lelio last time up in the 3rd. No home runs this season, had 1 last year. Coming in the SEC tournament. 1-0, looking to lay down a bunt. Right side, she's got a base hit. I'm talking about the long game. Quincy Lelio says, how about the short game?
Oh, what a smart play by Lelio. A slap, swat of a bunt. It was not a slap, but of course a bunt perfectly placed against a deep playing second baseman in Leanne Good. Good did not have a play at second, and just enough wheels from Lelio to beat out any throw to first.
South Carolina's RBI leader on the year, Carly Shelton, fouls back the first one.
Two runners aboard. You don't get many chances to get back at Tegan Kavon. Down 3-2. this may be South Carolina's biggest chance.
Gamecocks have not led tonight. Off the plate to even the count.
And if you're South Carolina, you love who you got at the plate. Carly Shelton, the best batter in Coach Ashley Chastain Woodard's mind in the lineup for South Carolina here in this key spot.
1-1 pitch, pops it up, shallow left. Altmaier Martinez nearly colliding. Vivi Martinez able to haul it in. A key second out for the Longhorns.
Altmaier pulls away at the very last second. Good work by Martinez just to continue to go. Unless she hears communication otherwise, she has to charge that one regardless of where her left fielder was. I like that play from Martinez to stick with it for the second out.
2 on, 2 down for Ariana Rohde. First pitch, a swing and miss. Rohde still looking to get going tonight. A strikeout in the first, rounded into a double play in the third. Pitch down to the dirt. Shaver takes third. That talks about the speed of Shaver. It puts on display there.
And now a runner at third base. Rohde just needs to put the ball in play. There's going to be some conversation regarding some sort of delay. Rohde puts her hand up in the air and says, how come we're pausing? Oh, of course, there's a ball out.
The ball snuck out of the
field.
Gamecock bullpen in right. So we'll get things reset here momentarily. On the corners for Rohde, one of the Gamecocks' senior co-captains. Strike 2, got it on that inside corner from Tegan Gavon. One-two pitch will end the inning. Tegan Gavon able to strand a pair of Gamecocks on the corners, including the tying run as she strikes out her 4th hitter of the night. Texas holding strong, a 3-2 lead after 5. SEC on opening day, Georgia and Alabama both lock up series opening wins. Meanwhile, Tennessee, the #1 ranked team in the country. And of course, their star ace Pickens in the circle. They're taking care of LSU right now, bottom of the 6th. A 4-run game there, and an early offensive game for Kentucky and Auburn still in first.
You see all of those numbers besides the teams highlighted a little bit earlier. South Carolina selected 10th in the conference. Texas selected 1st, but amongst all of those, you see all of those ranked teams playing tonight in addition to South Carolina and Texas.
Number 3 versus number 24 here in Columbia. J.C. Nichols leading it off for Texas in the 6th. It's 8-9-1. Portion of the order due up for the Longhorns. Nichols tonight 0-for-2. Grounded foul, now the count's 0-2.
For the Gamecocks, they're pretty pleased about handling J.C. Nichols. What they don't want to see is her speed really running rampant on the base paths. That flare in the 2nd inning, and then, of course, punching her out in the 4th. No chances for J.C. to beat any of those out.
Joey Hurd's 0-2's found back. Talked a little bit earlier about J.C. Nichols and the star high school athlete that she was in Durant, Oklahoma. Almost ran out of fingers for state championship rings. Got 4 high school state titles in fast pitch, 3 in slow pitch, and the long jump state championship. Hurd's 0-2, fouled off again.
So you're saying J.C. Nichols is a winner?
Heavy hand, is what I'm saying, certainly so.
Well, most certainly. And if you're Coach Mike White, of course, you want that competitive edge. And what an honor for J.C. Nichols, a freshman starting on the national champion reigning Texas team.
0-2, fouled off. And Nichols hitting .410 this season. Great numbers to have as a freshman. When we talked to Coach Mike White, the thing he raved about was how impressive she's been defensively.
Well, and I think that's what gets you on the field if you're a freshman. You better be able to handle your business even if your bat is still coming up to speed. You have to be able to prevent runners from coming aboard. And if you're J.C. Nichols, you've done just that.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. Jory Hurd strikes out Nichols. Second punch out of the night for the Gamecocks right-hander.
Ball high in the zone. Nichols just cannot catch up to it. And she's frustrated walking away after her second strikeout, as you pointed out, 0 for 3. And Jory Hurd truly settling in here in the 6th inning.
One out hitter is Ashton Maloney. You talk about Jory Hurd settling in. Came in relief of Neely Lamb back in the 3rd inning. Inherited 1 runner on base. And since that time, she's only given up 1 hit, but it was a big one. A 2-run homer to Katie Stewart later in that 3rd inning. So far, that's been enough for Texas, holding a 3-2 lead. Hurd worked herself into a jam a bit last time out in the 5th. With a couple of walks and a hit by a pitch, but was able to strand the bases loaded. 1-1 to Maloney. Foul back.
And Maloney, a great story. Coaching staff has all confidence in her, but she started to lose her confidence. She was at the top of the order, not hitting to her own standards. She actually asked to be moved to the number 9 slot, and the coaches obliged and said, hey, maybe that'll give her some confidence.
To left, there's Lilio. 2 gone. Third time through the order tonight for Texas. They've got just 4 hits. They've been enough. Top of the order, Caden Henry, 0 for 3. Longhorns coming in averaging over 9 runs a game. 2-out pitch is a strike. Henry, a preseason all-SEC selection. The Longhorns love her at the top of this lineup because of her speed ability. Leads the conference in stolen bases. But the easiest way to combat that if you're the Gamecocks is exactly what they've done tonight on a close check swing that doesn't go their way. They haven't let her on base at all.
And then on base for Caden Henry coming into the ballgame today at a 5.49 clip.
1-1, excuse me, swing goes foul.
And what's most impressive to me about Texas, we talked about the on-base percentage, coming into this ball game on base at a 4.99 clip. So just a tick under 1/2 of the time batters are getting aboard. It's no surprise Texas has only 1 loss against them at 19-1.
Hurd's 1-2. Just above the zone, it misses 2-2. Hurd looking for a second 1-2-3 inning of the night. Freezes up Henry. 3 strikeouts on the evening for Jory Hurd as she sits down the 3rd-ranked team in the country in order. Middle of the 6th, Texas in front of South Carolina. A close one. 1 run separates these two. Over South Carolina as we make our way to the bottom of the 6th inning. Gamecocks have the heart of the order coming up to the plate in this 1-run affair. A couple home run capable hitters stepping up. Corey Inslee, the first of those, the NC State transfer.
And you see that line. South Carolina has made contact, 6 hits against Cavan, but they've only got 6 outs to try to catch up here.
First pitch up the middle. Martinez takes care of it. 1 away. Eden Cavan now at 75 pitches tonight. Entered the evening with a perfect 8-0 record in the circle. 56 career wins for the junior. 1 down. Here's Tate Davis, South Carolina 3rd baseman. It's 1 for 2 tonight. 1 out pitch taken for a strike.
Davis taking all the way after the first pitch swing from Ensley.
And you see the difference a year makes for Tate Davis. Last season at Ole Miss, saw limited action, only 15 games total throughout the season. Only collected 2 total hits. This year, a .375 hitter, has driven a couple out of the ballpark, left a couple at the wall. Sometimes grass is greener on the other side. The 0-2 pitch is up and in. A South Carolina native coming back home as a sophomore. Actually committed to the Gamecocks over the phone to Ashley Chastain Woodard. Didn't even take a visit to campus. Knew this is where she wanted to be.
That's right. And Coach Ashley Chastain Woodard can tell you exactly where she was. She was on the beach decompressing after a long season last year when she got that call. Very emotional call for her. And she said that's a big step for our program when a player wants to come to our program and continue to build it and wants to come with no hesitation.
Roller to third. Nichols the throw across for the second out of the inning. Tegan Cavan now retired 4 in a row. Brings up Lexi Winters, the Gamecock catcher, who's looking to reach for the first time tonight. Winters second on the team in SEC play last year, hitting .310. Local product, nearby Lexington High School. Grew up just about 20 minutes from campus. Grew up coming to youth camps here at South Carolina. Has plenty of pictures with the mascot Cocky from her younger days. Always has a big family presence at games. Coach Chastain Woodard telling us the runway that's left for Lexi Winters to play college softball may be short with her senior season, but they do have plans for her next year to stick around and be a part of the staff.
Well, that's right, and that's a compliment to Winters and her headspace to be wise enough to be approached by the coaching staff to say, hey, if you have interest in returning in a different role, we might have a spot for you.
Base is clear with 2 outs in the 2-0. Devon misses the bottom of the zone. Just 2 walks tonight for Tegan Cavan, and they were both back in the second inning. Strike on the inside edge there.
And Winters was a statue on that one. 0 chance she was swinging at a 3-0 pitch here with 2 down.
Strike 2 dotted on the inside corner. Full count, battle back from Tegan Cavan.
I'm a little surprised by that one. But instead, we'll have to see the response from Lexi Winters.
The payoff. Inside, ball 4.
So Winters gets what she wants just 1 pitch later. Winters now standing over at first base. She represents the tying run in this ball game with Shea Anderson coming to the plate.
Shea Anderson stepping to the dish. 0 for 1 tonight with a walk. Tying run on the base paths for South Carolina. 2-out pitch is a strike. Gamecocks trying to snap a 17-game win streak for Texas. 0-1 up and off.
And Lexi Winters not being pinch run here, yes, with 2 outs, but playing the long game. The notion is that she is going to come around to score, and they're going to need her to catch potentially an extra inning. So what they don't want to do is lose her behind the backstop.
Cavan's 1-1, fouled off. South Carolina looking to put a run on the board for the first time in a while. Last time back in the 3rd inning. South Carolina scoring on an RBI ground out from Ariana Rhodey. Kavon's 1-2, fouled away. Bottom of the sixth, Texas in front of South Carolina 3-2. Lexi Winters over at first with Shea Anderson at the plate. Swing and a miss, strike three. Fifth punch out of the night for Tegan Kavon as she keeps the Longhorns' one-run lead intact, heading to the seventh. As we head to the top of the seventh, Longhorns leading this one 3-2. And they have Leanne Good leading things off for them. A player that's really taking a step forward this year, her final year as a senior. You look back, comparing 2025 to 2026, night and day difference, Paul.
Oh, absolutely. With that batting average sky high at a .512 number, but the slug and on base to go along with it, a massive threat, and exactly why she's in the 2-hole. Some insurance here for Texas would be solid for them. They don't want to get too comfortable with a 1-run lead in the away field here at South Carolina.
Jory Hurd's 1-0. Grounded to third, stopped by Davis, one away.
Davis makes that ball look routine, but I can't tell you how hard that is. She's standing short of the base, so let's say 55 feet away from that bat. Connecting on the ball from Leanne Good. Great reaction there from Davis on one hop and a strike over to first base.
Base is clear for Kaya Altmaier. It's just been an on-base machine tonight for Texas. A pair of walks and a double. A third of the year. On-base percentage now north of 600 for the Arizona transfer. Count even at one apiece on the outside edge.
And she was on base with the double when Katie Stewart went long for that 2-run home run off of Hurd back in the third. That's the difference in this ballgame.
Flare shot to foul territory. It runs into the net before Lelio can get to it. Jory Hurd, after giving up that homer to Stewart back in the third, has posted 3 shutout innings to the Longhorns, including a pair of 3-batter frames. Swing into the net. In fact, that home run from Stewart, the latest for Texas.
A great shot there on the home run. I can't say enough about that connection from Stewart. Really about the only one of really 2 quality swings from Texas today.
1-2, checked her swing. Our third base umpire, Donald Brown, says no. The count 2-2.
And what I mean by quality swings, deep swings by Texas. Just about everything has been kept on the ground by South Carolina pitching. Good job by them trying to keep the big bats of Texas at bay.
2-2 pitch, over but low. And that runs the count full. Jory Hurd, 3 strikeouts to 3 walks tonight in relief. Her 3-2, we'll see it again.
Altmaier continues to just foul some off. She had the excuse me connection earlier on in this at bat, but there a pitch she didn't really like. So what does she do? She tips it into the foul screen to survive another pitch.
Her deals. Off-speed breaking ball drops low. Kaya Altmaier will draw her 3rd walk of the night. She's reached base 4 times for Texas. 1 on with 1 down for Reese Atwood.
The catcher number 14, Reese Atwood.
Looks like the Longhorns going to put some speed on the base pass in the place of Altmaier before Atwood takes swings. Mike White with the lineup card out. His 8th season at the helm of the Longhorns. Fresh off of the program's first ever national championship after playing in the finals twice before under his tenure. Pinch runner going to be Adea Wallace, junior out of Plano, Texas, her 13th appearance on the year. 13 stolen bases in her career. None so far in 2026. 1 on with 1 down for Reese Atwood. 0 for 3 with a strikeout. One-0 pitch popped up. That'll get over the net and into the seats. A 20-game on-base streak on the line for Reese Atwood. Swing and a miss, strike 2.
No better place for Atwood to break that run with a base hit here. There, every intent of sending the ball to right field. She's going to step out and collect herself. She has yet to really get comfortable against Jory Hurd, and of course a rare day without a hit so far for her. 0 for 3.
The 1-2 punch, swing and a miss, strike 3. Jory Hurd strikes out Reese Atwood. 4 punch outs tonight for the Gamecocks ace.
Drop curve with that pitch falling out of the zone. She's used that sparingly, but just enough to put batters off balance. So now 2 outs for the threatening Katie Stewart.
A single, a homer, and a walk. And 3 trips tonight for Katie Stewart. Her 10th game this season, driving in multiple runs. 1-0 offering evens up the count. Gamecocks putting on a pull side shift here on Stewart as Shelton moves over from second base. Stewart chases one up and off.
There might have been miscommunication there. That pitch high and outside, the swing would have gone to the right side of the infield, and yet the infield pulled with 3 on the left.
Jory Hurd a strike away from ending the 7th. Tried to see if Stewart would go after another.
Hurd continues to toss high in the 60s. That one clocked at 67. Mixing her speeds nicely since she came in the 3rd inning.
Gamecocks rallying around Hurd. 2-2 sent to the screen. Last chance for Texas to tack on any insurance runs before giving South Carolina one more chance to tie it. The 2-2 in the air towards center. Back is Inslee off the top of the wall. Wallace waved around third. She will score. Insurance cashed in from Katie Stewart. It's 4-2 Texas.
Stewart hits it hard in a lot of parks. That ball would be gone, but the deepest part of the field for USC, 220, one of the largest parks in all of the SEC. That one off the wall, so reduced to a double, but the run does score. That insurance comes around. Adea Wallace charging home for the 4th run.
Stewart's 5th double of the season. Now that pitch will get away, and Stewart takes 3rd. Katie Stewart tonight driving in 3 of the 4 runs for Texas. Time call before Viviana Martinez will see another pitch. Winners want to talk things over here with Jory Hurd after she was a strike away from sending us to the bottom of the 7th in a 1-run game. Now the mountain to climb for the Gamecocks just got twice as tall. Katie Stewart, an RBI double to double up the Longhorns lead.
A couple of big swings by Katie Stewart. That home run we talked about a moment ago, and now that big double to almost dead center field. Just hitting the ball. Absolutely clobbering it is Katie Stewart for that 4th run.
1-0 pitch inside. No wind and a hot night here in Columbia. Temperatures in the upper 70s at first pitch. I'm sure Katie Stewart wouldn't have minded a little bit of a breeze. She was just about a foot shy of a multi-homer game. 2-0, a swing and miss.
Yep, that ball didn't need much help at all. A little bit of lift, but the flags laying flat today. Absolutely no wind at all in any direction, but certainly a beautiful day for softball.
Popped in the air, back towards center. This one stays in the park, and it is into Inslee's glove. Texas extends their lead on a double from Katie Stewart. We go to the bottom of the 7th. Longhorns up 2.
Well, and she does a great job of controlling the zone. So we see low in the zone for a couple of these strikeouts, but then the rise causing problems as well. Tegan Cavan can do it all. She's scattered 6 hits. South Carolina has put bat on ball, but only giving up 2 runs in the ball game. Excellent work by Cavan here in the SEC opener.
Cavan stepping in with a full trophy case behind her. Most recent, most outstanding player at the Women's College World Series last summer. Trying to set Texas off to a 1-0 start in league play and secure their 18th consecutive victory. The Gamecocks will have 8-9-1 in their order, stepping up and try and match a 2-run deficit. Pinch hitter Jamie McKay steps in. The Ole Miss transfer replaces Alyssa Hovermail, the DP. First pitch inside. McKay hitting 179 on the season. Came over after 3 years in Oxford. It's part of the Rebels group that joined Texas in Oklahoma City last season. 1-0 into 2-0. You'll remember McKay, a big swing at the Women's College World Series, a 2-run hit to force extras against Oregon, one of the opening round games.
And McKay adjusting to the softball. Now, why is that even remarkable? She played on the U.S. women's baseball team and actually took time to practice with them this fall. Coach Ashley Chastain Woodard blessed that fully and said, hey, go and get those reps. It's an experience you'll never regret.
Cavan's 2-0 will hit McKay. Tying run coming to the plate for the Gamecocks here in the 7th.
So we had the consultation between the battery of the 2 staffs in that of Atwood and Cavan. And I thought for sure that Cavan would settle in there, but instead another inside pitch that went too far inside, clipping McKay.
Gamecocks bringing Nia McKnight to the plate and putting speed on the base paths. Freshman Kai Byers will pinch run from McKay at first. McKnight, the 9-hole hitter, 0 for 2 tonight. Takes strike 1.
You couldn't have asked for much more from McKay than to get the leadoff runner aboard here in the 7th. Down 4-2. Such an important runner in Byers over at first.
Cavan's 0-1 doesn't catch. Even the count.
Now that runner is important for South Carolina, but Texas, with that insurance run in the prior inning, is really trying to remind each other, hey, we can survive this one, even giving up a run. leading by 2.
Tying run at the plate for the Gamecocks. Down to their final 3 outs. South Carolina trying to score for the first time since the 3rd. McKnight into left. Foul. It will sail. South Carolina's 2 runs tonight. Kavon hasn't given up an RBI hit. The first one scoring on a bases-loaded walk in the second. The second run for South Carolina came in the 3rd on an RBI groundout. Top of the order on deck. The 1-2 to McKnight. On the ground, left side, stabbed by Martinez. They'll get the force out at second. Heck of a defensive play for Vivi Martinez.
Martinez had to lay out into the hole, get up, transfer her body weight, and get it back to second. And it had to go fast, of course, with the lead runner in Byers charging over to second base. Love that effort from her. Instead of standing up, she efficiently takes it on one knee over to second base.
Lilio at the plate, 2 for 3 tonight. 1 out pitch, a strike call. Gamecocks power bats follow Lilio in the order. 0-1 pitch out of play. Lilio 5 doubles this season. Last year had 15 total extra base hits, including a homer in the SEC tournament. With McKnight at first and 1 out, bottom of the 7th. Kavon's 0-2. Flared to the left field line. It will fall foul.
And Lilio whispering to herself over on her way to first base, get down, get down, get down, give me another chance for contact. It's pretty clear that South Carolina has figured out how to contact Kavon. They've had a hard time getting it out of the infield, but one big swing from Lilio could change things here.
6 hits tonight for South Carolina, 2 of which off the bat of Lilio. 1 on, 1 down. 2 outs to spare in a 2-run game. 0-2 pitch out to center. Henry's there.
Just on the end of the bat, a fraction. Otherwise, that ball would have a little bit more carry, possibly getting to the wall, but not truly on the centered barrel of the bat. Easily caught by the center fielder in Henry.
Two-out pitch to Carly Shelton, a little low. Shelton 1 for 3 tonight. She does have 3 home runs this season. (1-0) pop back foul. Eight long balls in her career. The hometown kid trying to be hero for the Gamecocks here in the bottom of the 7th. She represents the tying run with South Carolina down to their final out. In the air to left. Altmaier coming in, and that's the ball game. Texas opens up SEC play with a 4-2 victory over South Carolina.
South Carolina looked pretty solid getting bat on ball against the ace in Tegan Kavon, but too much power. Katie Stewart with the big home run in the 3rd, and then an RBI double later on in the ball game sealed the deal. A 4-2 victory. Texas opens SEC play 1-0 on the year.
Their 18th consecutive win, and the 7th time this year that Texas has beat a ranked foe. These two will be back at the ball field tomorrow. For tonight, he's Paul McDonald. I'm Kate Crenshaw saying so long. As always, remember to smile, and we'll see you next time as Texas defeats South Carolina 4-2.